The Philadelphia Union show Columbus Crew who's boss.
The U.S. national team down in Jamaica prepping for the World Cup qualifier.
And some designated player news coming up on The Daily. Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of The Daily. I'm Samantha Yarrick with Jason Sagini, and we're going to jump right into last night's game. Philadelphia Union beating Columbus Crew at home 3-0, but Jason, none of those goals came from Jack McInerney.
Yeah, the league's leading scorer, disappointing some fantasy players, I'm sure, last night. But if you're John Hackworth, you have to be happy to be getting goals from other areas. He had Brian Carroll scoring from a deflected ball out of the midfield, Sheenan Williams with a nice goal off of a set piece, and then it was Connor Casey with a diving header to the near post. That, to me, is the one to look at, because Connor Casey's a guy who's been beat up a lot over the last few years, missed a lot of time with injury. He looked like the young Connor Casey getting down to the near post and heading that ball in. The one thing I'll say for Philadelphia Union fans is Jack McInerney did have a chance to extend his goal lead late in the game, a wide open look in front of net, and he hits it wide.
So Jason, the Crew gave up 3 goals in 6 minutes. How do you explain that?
Really, it just comes down to injuries. The Columbus Crew not in a good situation right now. Chad Marshall and Josh Williams, 2 huge contributors to that back line, out with injury right now. Of course, they're also missing Eddie Gavin for the season. Jairo Arrieta wasn't there because of international duty. That's a lot of their starting lineup missing in that game. And unfortunately for Robert Warzia's side, I think this was a big game for them against a Philadelphia Union team who they're probably going to be competing with for those final playoff spots in the Eastern Conference. For the Philadelphia Union, though, it's a huge 3 points at home.
The U.S. men's national team is down in Jamaica training for their World Cup qualifying game tomorrow night. And Jason, it looks like the Jamaicans have taken a page right out of Jurgen Klinsmann's playbook.
And by that, she means going to Germany and getting some help. And that's from Daniel Gordon, a center back who they capped against Mexico. He played the full 90 minutes in that match, and expect to see him probably against the U.S. on Friday night as well. For me, I think one of the important keys here in this game is actually going to be a German-born American, and that's Fabian Johnson, who played left wing for the U.S. team against Germany in the first half, left the game with an injury. Looks like he will be back on the field on Friday night. I think he is definitely a dynamic player on the left side and key to what Jurgen Klinsmann is trying to do. Another injury update is that Herculez Gomez likely will be eligible to play in this game. He's been nursing an injury as well. Probably won't start, but if he's on the bench, he's obviously a valuable asset for Klinsmann.
Well, be sure to check out the full preview coming out later this evening on MLSsoccer.com. And now back to MLS for some designated player news. First up, Obafemi Martins is now eligible to play against Vancouver on Saturday.
Yeah, Martins was red carded in that game against Chivas by Ricardo Salazar. Seattle Sounders appealed that red card, and the appeal was upheld, which means now Martins eligible to play in this weekend's Cascadia Cup match.
Another bit of DP news, a little bit more of a rumor, though, flying out about whether Giovanni Dos Santos is going to be joining the LA Galaxy.
All right, well, the report is that the LA Galaxy have offered Dos Santos an $8 million contract to come to MLS. He's been linked with MLS for a long time, and a lot of different teams, including Sporting Kansas City, is one that Peter Vermes had actually come out and said, we tried to get him, and we didn't. Other teams that I've heard linked with him, Houston Dynamo and Chivas USA, but it looks now like the LA Galaxy could be the front runners should he choose to come to MLS, and that's no done deal. Apparently, he has offers from Europe as well.
Well, that's all we have for today. Join us tomorrow for another edition of The Daily.